This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian, Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And if it's Tuesday, you know, we're live around the world on over 100 outlets, streaming on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, you name it, we have it. And the fun thing about it, it was doing a follow-up on the CES show of 2024, best technology in the world, things that I love to find, kicking off the new year and everything. So I'm going to wait for Terri Marie to pop in. Tosh might pop in late. And we're having snowstorms across the United States. So a lot of my other co-hosts are having issues on things. So with that, see that nonstop Terri Marie just
hi.
So Terri, let's start with this. Where are you at right now?
I am in Pismo Beach, in glorious California. I know half the country is freezing right now, and I'm like enjoying like a nice sunset. Yeah, like this. I'm at the Hilton. Beachfront is beautiful. Like sometimes you gotta like count your blessings, you know. I'm here on a business trip, and yeah, I got an upgrade tonight, and I got an ocean view, so I couldn't ask for a better upgrade. So I'm happy.
She's happy about everything, so that's a good thing. I don't know what the weather is in France. I know it's snowing in Chicago and in the South because the other co-hosts aren't on because they got power problems and people are stuck at work. So we just go with it. So with that. So Seraphina, I want to talk with you first because you're that singer, you're that dancer, you're that artist. You've had a school day, which is one of those things where you didn't have to go, which is good for you. But also, what is that song? I want to say, I love this about relationships gone bad, burning that bridge and saying that when you burn that bridge, you want everybody to know that you burned that bridge. You made that song. What is it? Left Behind?
Yeah, Left It All Behind.
Left It All Behind. I love the title, but I love how you describe that. When someone has burned you, you want to make sure that you burn that bridge down and let them know that you burned that bridge down. And I love that, and I thought it was great. Talk about your song, and then we're going to go into the country of France. Go ahead.
That song is about a friendship that I had with a friend in my freshman year of high school. I'm a sophomore now. And how she just left me and I had to deal with starting high school by myself, which sucked because I was going to a new school at the time and not letting that affect me anymore because it affected me a lot back then.
And we've all had friendships where people burned us or did us wrong and stuff like that. So that was a good thing about writing the song. Talk about your writing and how that goes. What's your process like?
It's different every time. Sometimes I have the music and I write to that. Sometimes I write and then I have music written around that.
And then talk about some of the artists that you've been working with.
I worked with Twista on a song called Nothing that is out now, and you can listen to it on every streaming platform.
How'd you like working with him?
It was incredible, honestly. I'm like a little younger, so I wasn't very well known with his music, but my older sister knew him a lot, and it was exciting to work with someone who is so well known in the music industry.
See, that's good to know that because I met him once. He's an interesting guy. So when you have things like that and you're that singer-songwriter, those are fascinating. Those are great things to do, especially at that early age, isn't it?
Yeah, it's honestly so incredible to work with so many wonderful people.
And so someone who knows what it's like to work with incredibly fun people is vocally Tosh from Miami, Florida. Hey, so Tosh, you might be the only place that's not having snow where it's not cold, huh?
Yeah, we are actually, I think, the only Florida, our only things happen in Florida. We're the only sunny place so far right now, and I'm very grateful because I'm kind of getting through a cold, so I can't even imagine just being in all those freezing temperatures trying to get over the cold. So where is everybody right now?
Well,
All of our guests?
Natasha, it's actually in California. It's warm. It was like 80
Wow.
degrees today. So
Okay.
I'm in Pismo
Different
Beach.
spectrums.
I'm on Pismo Beach at a hotel on the beach, so I'm not going to complain. But I do know across the rest of the country, it's cold.
And I'm, as you guys know, I'm in Vegas, and Gregory, he's in Vegas. Nadidi, she's in France, I believe. He's in France, I believe, also too. So I'm going to lead back into that because Tosh, I'm going to come back with you. I was waiting for you to come on. This is going to be a Tosh day besides the country of France. So Gregory, talk about this. You were just at the CES show. Let's talk about this company. What makes this company unique? Talk about what it is that you guys offer to the audience.
Okay, so what makes us unique is that we're bringing in a solution that is to help the HR department with AI behind. So basically, the whole idea started with the Gen Zs and millennials, and we have been promised several technological revolution. Yet there's only handfuls that has been applicable in professional and our personal lifestyle. So this is how we came up with the idea of Bulma solution within the post-COVID situation where enterprises, HRs has been presented with unprecedented challenges. There has been quiet quitting, stabilizing and annual turnover, management issues, the rise of remote working. So this is where the Bulma solution enters as a revolution and a game changer for the HR department.
And I do remember walking by that booth too, because it was all about how to improve the workforce, especially when a lot of people have left it. And I thought that was interesting. Hey, Greg, talk about this because you were at the CES show, obviously. You're still in Vegas. I think you stayed in Vegas because you just wanted to have some fun instead of heading back to France right away, huh?
No, I'm going on vacation just after in New Zealand, so it's more short from Vegas than France.
Talk about your experience at CES and what that was like, and give your perspective on solutions.
It was pretty. It was cool. It was pretty cool. There are many new solutions, or some solution we didn't expect to be a solution. So it was cool to discover many technologies, new technologies, or everything. And about our solution, it was like so we do the solution for human resources. With the base with some EA, like Nandini said, and we had like robots into it to have more interactive more interaction with the employees to interact with them for their development and their growth into the company, and to also during some interview between with women or commercials and with candidates, they could receive the stress and make a technical answer for the candidate to the human resources for about the skills, to confirm the skills.
And Ibram, I'm not sure if your sound is good because you were coming in hot before we started. Let's see. Introduce yourself to the audience, who you are and what you do.
Yeah, hello everybody. So I hope that the sound is way better now.
You're good.
Yeah, all right. So I'm a machine learning engineer working with the Bulma solution, trying to enhance cutting-edge technologies using AI to make the recruitment process smoother, and how can I say, try to screen the smallest details on the candidate's needs and the employer's needs as well. So everything goes with notice. For example, we notice, for example, that some big tech companies like Google, Amazon, Cloudflare, and so on, they started to massively lay off people all of a sudden, and it's truly, really traumatizing. So the core question is, why do you really hire a person? Do you hire just to boast about growth, or do you hire to, how can I say, to tell everybody that my company is growing at a fast pace, or do you hire when you really have a specific need? So Bulma solution, to picture it in a high level way, is a groundbreaking application that not only goes into the candidate's technical skills, but goes into the cultural fit, tries to understand really what matters to both sides in order to help enhance the interaction between the two entities.
So that makes it kind of interesting, especially because a lot of people have left the workforce. Tosh, you left the workforce. I listened to your interview today with Jeremy. I'm halfway through it, and it's actually fascinating. It's actually fun. Especially, obviously, I knew you played the French horn, but it was one of these things I didn't know. And Seraphina, you probably can relate to this, having that nervousness of being that singer, and stepping away for a while. Tell everybody what you do and what makes Vocally Tosh unique and why she's a hot chick right now.
Oh my god, I don't know. I turned super way around. Oh, there we go. My lighting. So I'm Nathasha Rumbos. They call me Vocally Tosh because I'm part of Brian Sebastian's co-host for about 4 years already. We met in the pandemic.
Yeah, time goes quick.
I know that is actually crazy for me to say 4 years later. And I also do radio on the side as well. I do on La Mega 97.5 in Rochester, New York. I'm on every Sunday. So that's something that I've been, developing and growing into. It's about to be a year in March. So that's very exciting. I've kind of been dwelling a little bit in the radio industry. But apart from that, I'm also a singer-songwriter. So I do urban Latin music, I do un poquito de reggaeton, Latin pop, dembo. I like to mess around with different subgenres in the Latin industry. And it's been a great fun ride. I started off, in middle school doing band and chorus in high school. And then that led me to other things, getting into bands, singing around restaurants. And then I eventually, decided to go towards my career and really focus on my original music, which I started 4 years ago. And that's where I met Brian. He was actually my first interview as a solo artist. And, it was, I never thought that after that interview, he would ask me to be part of his radio show, part of Movie Review.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was drunk, Josh.
Well, I mean, then you've been drunk for these past 4 years, then, because I'm still here.
Hey, and Nathasha, I was one of the first people. Well, I was the co-host that interviewed you with Brian. Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah,
in person in in LA for the Super Bowl.
No, the first podcast we did, the first time you were on the show, it was me and Brian during COVID, and then I got to interview with you. Obviously, that's the first time I got to meet you in person.
Yes. So it's been a nice, beautiful ride. We've done a lot of great things. I have a 5 singles out, which is available on all platforms, and I have music videos, so you can definitely check that out on YouTube. Get to know Vocally Tosh a little bit. From what you can, kind of see with my energy. I'm a very high energy person. I love giving, those positive vibes through the camera, and, everything that you give, you attract in your life. And that's what makes me special. You'll never see me with with a, sad face. I always try to get everything and point to everything joy in life. So that's Vocally Tosh for you guys. And also this is the name of my single, Sugar Daddy, which is my latest single. This is my merch, my first official merch. So that's why I'm wearing it. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Natasha, I'm going to ask you, I need one of those. Do you have any beanies?
I don't have any beanies. So I'm in the process of getting out more items, but I'm kind of just sticking with the bucket hat.
I'm going to make a request for you.
For a beanie?
For a beanie, so I can wear it at the gym.
Okay. Noted.
Okay, there you go.
See, and that's the marketing part. So I wanted you to know what Tosh does, going back to the people in France, Believe Me Solutions, and then Seraphina. Also, kind of how we like find people. I didn't find Terri. Terri found me. So Terri, tell them who you are, and then I'm going to go back to Nadine. I'm going to go back to you. Go ahead, Terri.
Okay, my name is Terri Marie. I am a fitness competitor, artist, actress, businesswoman. I'm nonstop Terri Marie for a reason. I've been with Brian since I think 2015 was when I first went on his show after I won my first fitness competition. I placed first place in my division in Muscle Beach, second place overall. I started competing in my 40s. I'm very proud of that. So I want to be an inspiration to never giving up on your goals. That's why, like, when I hear you saying that you're in high school, you're so young and you have so many opportunities that will come before you. So if I could say that as, I guess, and I hate to say this, an elder, I don't want to sound like a parent, but it's like you have so many things to look forward to until you're dead. I really believe that. Even when you're 60, you still have opportunities. It never stops. So never stop believing in yourself, no matter how hard it gets and how many doors are shut in your face. Sorry, I just had to put a little inspiration in today.
Yes.
Well, and that's a good thing about stuff like that. Seraphina, talk about this. So what you heard from Tosh, because Greg, I'm coming to you next. This is what makes it interesting. Sometimes I usually I'd vet people out, but this is, I have to thank Steve Wenderson, BWF for the people that they find, because I love the technology when it comes to stuff. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's about being the first to interview a lot of new companies, get them out there, let them see that there's an audience and there's a solution for a lot of the problems that people come up with out there. So if you talk about this and what you heard from Tosh, because Tosh started kind of like you in a way, but in a different genre. Where do you see yourself going in the music genre now, especially since you work with Twisted and a couple other people?
I mean, from what I expect, I kind of expect to go on the same path that I'm on, but honestly, anything can happen. I could shift anywhere that I can.
And so who are you going to be working with next?
Right now I'm trying to work just with myself, just to make my own music, but in the future, who knows?
Sounds just like Tosh. That's the vocally Tosh. That's how you started, huh?
Yep, that's how you start. And also, like, and you don't have to focus on this now, but collaborations are super important because that has helped me a lot, kind of get more, listeners in. So it's always great to collaborate with other people. You never know who's, watching them and then becomes your fan. So very, very important. I started doing that last year, and it has opened a lot of doors for me. So yeah, collaborations are super important.
Yeah, especially when we have people come on a show. I like to give people chances and stuff. Gregory, talk about this. When you were at CES this year, only last week, what was the experience like? What was it like, people coming up to the booth with everything like that for you guys?
Why people are coming to our booths, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on first there was like interesting by the robots, because we came with two prototype to show the stuff. And so our robot was made, it was a homemade robot, two homemade robots with the 3D printers, which was like interesting by many people, because it was like a first time also to see a big robot, because the robot was like 1 meters 4 centimeters, like, so like not a really a small size. So that was interesting by that. And after we would just come with applications, the solutions to develop what we do.
And you guys don't have a trailer or anything, so we could show people what you have, do you?
Yes, we do have one.
You do have one.
So
type it in the private chat. Let me see if we can find it. So Nadine, talk about this. What do you want to get? What do you want the audience to know about this company? Say the name one more time for everybody so they know what we're talking about. Because people are visual these days, so that's why.
So I got disconnected. What just happening?
And I'm going to go to you on this one. Talk about this. Talk about the company again. What makes it relevant and why they went to CES? Because Gregory was there. You guys weren't there, I don't think, right? Or were you there?
Yeah, we were all there.
Okay. Go ahead. Talk about that. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. All right. So as I said,
Go ahead.
the problem with hiring processes nowadays are that companies and candidates don't really know each other well. So that's why we witness, for example, the phenomenon of quiet quitting, as Nanidi just pointed it out, because some companies they try to glamorize about what they do, and once the candidates get into their business, it gets kind of disillusions and lots of fake promises. So with Bilma solution, other than just addressing the technical abilities, we try to go beyond by looking at the cultural fit, the mutual compatibility, communication skills, and we try to forecast the needs of the companies because lots of companies, like I said before, they hire without really needing to hire. You don't need to hire 1,000 people when you actually need just 100 to handle the exact same job. So our solution depicts a set of 5 applications that follows the recruitment process from pre-hire to the evolution of the candidate within the company up to the evolution of the candidate throughout his whole career. Is it he stays in within the company, he makes a pivot when necessary, or he tries to completely switch of industry. So the 5 applications, put simply, are big spiel that will, first of all, project you into the daily life of the company. And I think that it addresses a really interesting problem, since in the recruitment process, companies are the only ones that have a word to say. So with big spiel, the company tries to tell the candidate that you can decide whether you want to move on forward with me or you want to cut it off right behind. After that, we have Totea. That is a technical abilities monitoring tool to assess that you are up to date with your technical needs, whether you need to take a training or you need to learn back new stuff and so on. But it also assesses the psychometric skills, meaning that well, you won't really bring a well-gifted person if they are a psychopath, for example. And to assess this critical question, we have Venus that will calculate the e-reputation that will try to inform the company in real time who is this person that you are trying to interview. And as well, it computes the e-reputation of the company to inform the candidate how attractive is this company you're trying to join, or
Okay, go ahead. Greg's having tech side problems on his side. Go ahead.
All right. So it assesses the mutual fit, as I say, like some weights to calculate the boundaries, the strengths of the boundaries between candidates and employers. After that, we have Themis, because lots of persons in tech, for example, like me, are not aware of our rights and the company's duties. So in some situations, candidates are really lost about what is abusive, what is allowed by the laws. So we developed kind of a search engine in order to make search more efficient, more faster, and in order for the candidate not to browse all the internet when they have a pretty specific question about the laws. And after that, we have PT that will compute digital passports to help the candidate really navigate well throughout his entire career journey. So this
and
is
that was one of the
me.
things I liked was the digital passports. That part I remember.
Yeah. So that's why it's really a global solution and a detailed one that helps capture the intentions, because it's all about intentions. Some companies and candidates, for example, when you bring someone in your company, you don't want them to leave within 2 or 3 months, because it will cost you money back. You will invest time to hire again, to train new employees, and so on. So it's a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of energy that you will want to avoid. Similarly, the candidate wouldn't really want to have just 2 or 3 months in a company. They would perhaps want to grow, to learn more, to evolve in their career. So that's why we really try to understand the intents of the two sides to make the links stronger.
See, and Terri, that's why your company likes you. You know, they went and chose that great candidate, and you're happy with doing what you're doing, aren't you?
Yeah, and I get a balance of life too, you know, with what I do. You have to do something that rewards you. I help patients every day be able to have better mobility, so that's why I like my company.
Yeah, and that's why you're a lot happier now. And then
Yeah.
Tosh, you and I are like, you know, we can't work for companies. We like to do our own things, don't we?
Yes, yes, we do. I mean, even though like now I started well, I'm a bartender. That's how I live my life, and that's what I used to, you know, invest in all of my music. And it's a very different environment, but still a lot of learning and, you know, being able to work under pressure in a different kind of way. I'm more of, you know, I tried the corporate life. It was not for me. I'm more of a person that wants to be like conversating with people and being their psychologist while I make them drinks. So, you know, that's how I spend my working days now.
Do you know what, Tasha? You can learn a lot from the corporate world on how to be independent, I think, because I still do my own stuff by working in the corporate world. One day I would like to break away from that and just have my own brand and be my own, you know, entity, I guess. But again, it just depends on the corporation and the organization that you're with. I mean, because you as a business owner, you're going to have people under you, right? So you want to mentor those people to be better, if that makes any sense. And the longer that I've been in the professional world, it's like, okay, so what can I do to make my coworkers better? What can I make to, you know, make them grow in the future? So I'm starting to look at the world in a different way. I don't know.
And that makes sense when it comes to that too.
Yeah.
Nadine, talk about your job. What is it that makes you relevant with Blaming Solutions?
So I'm the autistic manager, and I've been working with the solution for since 2020. And what makes it relevant to me is that with the solution, I've been able to map the growth of my career. Like we have been using Burma solution to be mapping like the growth and the evolution of the enterprise, but also of mine. And something that has been really used is like the social value of the enterprise, which matches with my social value. So when it has been in theory, right now we are applying it with Burma solution, with really having a quotation. So having a quotation for Burma solution and having a quotation for me through annual appraisal. This has been inculcated within our enterprise, and right now we have been able to really automatize it and use AI to bring it in a product. And as we said, we have a digital passport. So the digital passport is able to map that clearly. So after being like nearly 4 years in the enterprise, I can have a retrospective of what I've been doing since I've been here. So I've grown from assistant marketing officer to artistic manager. So I can map my growth with the use of the idea of Burma solution.
Hey, you know, and I like that. Okay, Tosh and Seraphina, this will be for you also. What are you guys thinking about AI? Because I saw a lot of things with AI. It's almost like everybody's jumped on that bandwagon, but I'm still suspicious of it. Of certain things. Yes, it could be used for a lot of good things, but it could be used for some bad things too. Tosh,
I'll let Seraphina take this one, and then I'll bounce in.
I like a lot of AI do a lot of music creation, like where they write lyrics to a song, or they can like just make their own songs, which is like, it's kind of a little bit weird because they kind of just take all they know from other songs, they turn that into their own song. So it's kind of like plagiarizing, but it's also not. But it's interesting, in my opinion, but I've never used it.
Tosh?
So I think it's a blessing, and it's also not a blessing at the same time, because this could also kind of make artists lazy, because you could just go to AI and be like, so what, create a song for me that, you know, majority of people are listening to right now, and it'll create a track for you, and then that kind of loses, you know, the process of you as an artist, like creating from scratch and being able to, like, you know, develop even more your creative space. So, you know, it can be really good, like when you're having like writer's block and you need kind of something to kind of turn that switch on, and maybe AI could, you know, be helpful in that sense. But also I feel like, you know, you know, some artists that are lazy just want to, like, oh, the computer will, you know, will do it. So it's an in between. I've never used it. I don't know how to use it, to be honest. I think it's a little complicated to use, but hey, you gotta roll with the punches, and AI is gonna be here for a while. So we have to learn how to, you know, use it to our advantage as musicians.
We just have to let not take over.
Yeah.
Terri, would you use it for your creating when you're creating art?
I will use it to help me spell.
Well, that's the benefits. That's one of the things. That's the benefits
No, I
of
mean,
it, right?
the only thing that I can find the benefit, because I'm dyslexic and I have had issues with spelling and grammar my whole life. So I do see that AI can help me write a book, because I don't write because I'm, you know, I've got phobias of it, because I was made fun of it as a kid because I couldn't write. And being dyslexic doesn't mean that you're stupid. It's probably the biggest misconception about it. Your brain just sees things reverse. But I notice now Facebook has it, so it makes it easier for people like me to communicate. But then again, like, you don't want people to start getting lazy. You know, as far as creators, is what Natasha said, as far as being artists or an artist in any matter, whether it be if you're doing physical art or if you're, or not physical art, but I mean, if you're doing a drawing or if you're singing or if you're creating, like, I don't want the world to be taken over by computers on human creation. I think
I like that.
Yeah, I think it can be used as a tool to help maybe somebody who's lacking in ways to communicate, or to maybe give them ideas. But a lot of the AI takes human ideas and makes them own, and I don't know, it's a little scary. So, you know, but technology has always been a little scary.
Hybrid. Greg, we're coming to you next.
Oh yeah. Since I work with AI on a daily basis, I think that as all human inventions, you know, it comes with its good parts and its bad parts. Like when we invented nuclear energy, it was not primarily for the goal of atomic bomb, but people really evolved to develop atomic bomb based on a pretty useful energy for electricity and so on. So for me, AI as well, it's just a copilot of a human being, since even the algorithms, you know, that are trained with AI, they are instantiated by human beings. So without human beings, I think that AI would not exist. And we are the one who educate AIs. We are the one who train them. We are the one who test them. We are the one who use them. So once all the ethical values are seriously assessed and addressed, I think that AI can be a great boost for productivity. But for example, for the, how can I say, negative part that we were talking about, I'd like to take the example of OpenAI that really dominated the AI world in 2023. So recently, they were sued by New York Times because their ChatGPT used an entire article of New York Times. So personally, for example, I would like to say that how can I say, it speeds up the searching, the search when, for example, you have a specific question. So when I had a specific question about ecology, about economics, and so on, that very article of New York Times addressed the question. So the moral part is that perhaps OpenAI should buy the rights because it was a paid article in order to protect journalism, because it's an intellectual task. Human beings are the one that create, but AI by itself, I think that does not really do anything apart from human being behind to instantiate it, to tell it how to behave, to tell it what to do, to tell it what to steal, and to Terri to teach it how to create, like a generative AI with stable diffusion. I heard someone talking about AI in arts and so forth. But for me, AI in itself, even it's very useful and a pretty impactful copilot to human being, is not really creative. It's just about how can I say, um, describing known patterns of the universe, because even in the AI vocabularies, we say sometimes pattern recognition. So what is pattern recognition? For example, you have already seen a breast that has cancer. So given that it is really expensive to assess manually, so I will teach an AI model to recognize it in order to assist doctors in their diagnosis. I can, for example, use AI to make some sales forecasting and prediction, to think about where I could put my business in order to boost my sales. I could use AI as well for autonomous driving, since it was really a pretty dominant theme in the CES with EV charging, AI, sensors, to better sense the world, understand it, and take better decisions. So to me, it's a double-edged sword. But as I said, as all of human inventions, people we invented internet. Some people use it for dark web and do some criminal stuff. So it really depends on the balance of the individual behind it. But for me, it's not that
That's a
terrifying.
long answer, but I got the gist of what you're talking about. But I did like how you explained it, though. And then, so Greg, let's test you. Your thoughts on AI?
So yeah, so for the AA, for me, for my view, is more like an assistant. You use it to assist you on every, not maybe every, but on your task, some task, and that's it.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I like that. So I found another company at CES. This one, technology. And I like that. Sean, I talked to Sean today. I like him. It's co-founder, inventor, Sims Technology, and what it is, and I'll show it in the next couple weeks. If you, as you're walking, you're running, or for me, riding my scooter, it prevents somebody from sneaking up on you and hitting you or attacking you from the back. And it's the only one that I've found at the CES show. I think it's the only one in the world that he has created, being the inventor of that. And I like the technology of that. It's small. It's maybe the size of you putting your thumb up like this, but you put it on your backpack or you put it on the back if you're walking, and you can see through the app through your phone if someone's going to sneak up behind you and attack you. And I really like that. So we're going to have that on there soon to talk about things like that. So Tosh, talk about this. Talk about your interview with Jeremy. Talk about what that's like, because I have a surprise for Jeremy coming up later on. He doesn't know about it. Talk about your interview, because when I'm finding these companies and things like this, the word is about getting the word out for everybody, no matter where they may be around the world. There's a lot of great artists, there's a lot of great inventors, but they don't always get the chance to tell their stories on what they've created. So for you, you're getting a chance to tell your story, and I think that's great. And I found out more about my friend Tosh, and I thought it was great that she stepped away from music and was scared. Now I understand why she may have an anxiety attack before she steps on stage, but that is normal. And Seraphina, you may have that too, but I don't know. But Tosh, you first. Go ahead.
So my interview with Jeremy, it's called The Mindful Mutiny, and I recommend all of you to go and check out our stories. This man really goes deep into our humble beginnings all the way, and the whole journey. Especially for me, it was all about how I started with music. I quit music during my college years because I was a silly 18-year-old. And I just, decided to quit music because of something bad that happened, which, years later, I'm 28 now. So 10 years later, I'm just like, wow, I wish I could go back and, stick with music all those years, because who knows where I would be now. But I think I'm a huge believer of the time is right when it is right. So, maybe it wasn't my time to be, a singer back when I was in college and all that stuff. Now I see things a lot more clear. I'm a little bit older, so I know what sound I want, and then it kind of led me to where I am as an artist now. But yeah, Jeremy, like really asked, I swear I thought I was like in a therapy session. Like he asked me questions that nobody had asked me before in an interview. And it made me really like, think like, oh man, like, he made me go through like all the journey that I've been through, and it made me really proud of like everything that I've been doing, because I don't have a team. Like I don't have a manager or a publicist. Like I do everything myself. I'm an independent artist. So it made me realize like, yeah, like if you work your butt off, like you're going to see stuff happening, and you're going to you're going to have some amazing accomplishments, and you're going to be like, hell yeah, like I did it. It's a very inspirational episode. You will definitely see it, and you'll be like, you know what I'm doing right now, I want to continue doing it, because like I know that I can do it. So it's all about believing in yourself and being confident in your craft and in your products. Just like the companies that we have here, you guys had a passion for it, and you guys made it into a company and are doing it. So it's all very relatable. Trust your gut and what you're doing, and you're gonna get very, very far. You're gonna surprise yourself in the journey, which in this episode with Jeremy, that's what happened. And I'm very, very happy with everything that I've been doing and music. So I recommend all of you guys after this, or maybe tomorrow, since I know some of you are in France and you're gonna go to sleep, but check out some Hispanic music, get those juices flowing, maybe hit the gym or go on a walk and explore Nathasha Rumbos Tash Baby.
Exactly. And so I'm going to give you guys a head up first. We got about 7 minutes left. Your favorite music and your favorite movies. So before we get to you three, so Seraphina, talk about this. Who is your music made for? Who do you hope to work with in the future? And where do you go next?
My music's made for whoever wants to listen. People who feel like they're not represented in music, because music is always about, most of the time, the same thing, and we don't always experience everything the same as everyone else. So I want my music to represent people who don't feel represented, and experiences that I experience that other people experience as well. And people that I want to work with, probably like Paramore, like early 2000s, Evanescence, like all of those people are like my idols and stuff like that.
And
I wanted to say something. Wait, I want to say something.
Josh.
I listened to I was looking at your Instagram, and your voice reminds me of Evanescence. I literally was like, oh my god, I literally hear like Evanescence coming, through your sound. So it's so funny that you say that. I see it now.
Thank you.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite bands. Freaking love them. I'm a rocker, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seraphina, give your social media links and music influences and favorite movies so far for you.
My favorite movies. I used to watch the Harry Potter series when I was like probably like 2 years ago, so that stuck with me. Another one is Pixels, which is another movie that I watched it when I was younger, and like I didn't get like all of like the like dirty jokes and like adult humor, but now I get it, and it's like it still holds up, even though it's like a family movie. I feel like it's one of the last of those.
And social media links.
Social media on TikTok and Instagram, it's seraphina.sanin. And on all music platforms, it's just Seraphina.
Greg, favorite music and movies that you might be seeing, especially if you've been, stuck in Las Vegas.
So my favorite music, I'm going with some Eminem song for sure. And for film movies, I would say the Lord of Wings.
Ah, okay. And give your social media links for everybody.
So is sorry, I forgot. I don't have special social media for me. I'm not too much.
You're not a social media person.
No. It's too
That's
much.
understandable. There's a lot more. Good for you.
I tried, but I was like a grandpa looking for some for something. So no, that's not for me. We got
Yeah.
some social media for Bulma, but not for Gregory. Mm-mm.
Makes sense. Sandy, go ahead. Favorite music, movies. Sandy, Nadina. Favorite music, movies, music. Sorry.
Favorite music, maybe any Asian music, and and for movies, I think I'll go with Walk to Remember. And for social media platform, I rather use the company's social media platform. So you'll be able to find any of our new innovation on Group VII Origin. We're present on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter.
You give it one more time. Social media link one more time.
So Group VII Origin. It's all together.
And Albert. All right. So this will be interesting. I have a feeling that you have eclectic music and you like some weird movies. Go for it. Let's see what you do.
So the music I love is everything from Avicii, especially, for example, Wake Me Up, Levels, etc. But recently I started to listen at like Jackie Chan, that was from Tiesto, Zico, and Post Malone. And for movies, I really love Godfather. The Godfather, all this, actually just the two first parts, because the third one was a flop for me, but it was overall a good movie to watch.
And Terri, so you turned me on to a movie. What was the one you turned me on to? That was on Amazon Prime.
Oh gosh, now role play. Actually, it was really good. It was like a light comedy, kind of thriller thing. It was I highly recommend it if you are home and you need to watch something entertaining. That I have ADD, so it kept me entertained. So that's easy.
Anything that can keep you entertained, that's a good thing.
But I'll say though, because I've been like kind of under weather. I've had like this weird flu for the last 3 weeks where I feel better and I don't feel okay. So I've been watching a lot more movies. I finally watched Babylon too, which was very interesting. It's a 3-hour movie, but I kind of related to a lot of the characters because it kind of shows the pain of like people wanting to be creative. I just like, I don't know how cruel the world is. And it's one of those movies that just makes you think, because you can't let what other people think about you get to you. That was kind of the message I got from that movie. Everybody else is going to get a different message, but one of the characters, Margot Robbie, like basically like when she starts speaking, when they have speaking movies, they don't like her anymore because they don't like her voice, and that was her downfall, was that she couldn't embrace that people don't like her voice. So instead of embracing her flaws, she went and destroyed herself. So I don't know. I looked at that movie where it's, we can take our flaws and we can get better, or we can destroy ourselves. Does that make any sense? So it was a very moving movie to me. So.
And social media links for the audience.
Terri Marie Nonstop on all platforms, and then TerriMarieOfficial.com.
So Tosh, I went back and watched the real movie is called Alive, on the Uruguay rugby team that crashed in.
Oh my God,
I watched that.
Yes,
that was good.
That movie is insane. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the title, is what is it? Society of Snow on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 2 hours and about 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it's very, very good. It's close to Alive. It's very good. So
I watched it this past weekend.
Yeah, it's very good. But also Lift with Kevin Hart, Vincent D'Onofrio. It's very good about art heist, Gold. That's on Netflix. That's pretty good. And then I will leave everybody with, I'm going to go back to The Morning Show on Apple TV with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
I want to see
3 seasons. That is actually really good. And thank you for everybody coming on. It's not always easy doing these things, especially you guys getting up 2 a.m. if you stayed up, getting the word out, but it's important. And a lot of times is they got these great companies, but they don't always get a platform to come out and talk about it. And that's one reason why we take a chance to have it on. And then we become friends, especially when you go to CES, Gregory, and then you come back the next year and you get a chance to see how everything has grown. So I want to thank you for that, because it's not easy. And as I always say this to everybody, have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. Brian Sebastian, this is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.